Good morning, students. Welcome to Maths class of Grade 7 of Baswa Residential Girls School. I am Yashasvi, your Maths teacher. Students, we are studying chapter number 2 and the name of the chapter is Fractions and Decimals. In our previous classes, we learnt about fractions. And in today's class, we shall be studying various topics under decimals. The first topic for today's class is decimal numbers. How do we read such numbers? For example, a number is 253.147. After the decimal point, we have to read out the numbers individually, which means we should not call it as 147. It is wrong. Instead of that, we need to read it out as 0.147. This is the correct method. I repeat again, 253.147. Coming to the place values, 2 is in its hundreds place, denoted by 100. 5 is in its tens place, denoted by 10. 3 is in its ones place, denoted by 1. And after the decimal point, there is slight change in the names of the place values. Pay attention, students. 1 is in its tenths place, 4 is in its hundredths place, and 7 is in its thousandths place. They are denoted by 1 by 10, 1 by 100 and 1 by 1000 respectively. Now coming to the second example, 629.321. Similar to the previous example, 6 is in its hundreds place, which is denoted by 100. 2 is in its tens place, denoted by 10. 9 is in its ones place and which is denoted by 1. After the decimal point, 3 is in its tenths place, which is denoted by 1 by 10. 2 is in its hundredths place, which is denoted by 100, 1 by 100. And lastly, 1 is in its thousandths place, which is denoted by 1 by 1000. After studying about the place value, now let us study about the expansion of place value. Let me take an example, 253.417. So how do we expand this? It has a decimal point and there are numbers after it. So keeping in mind the place values, 2 is in its hundreds place, so 2 multiplied by 100 plus 5 is in its tens place, which has to be multiplied by number 10, so I have written it as 5 into 10 plus 3 is in its ones place, so 3 is multiplied by number 1 plus, here starts after the decimal point numbers, 4 is in its tenths place, which has to be multiplied by 1 divided by 10, so it is written as 4 into 1 divided by 10 plus 1 is in its hundredths place, which is multiplied by 1 divided by 100. So I have written it as 1 into 1 by 100 plus 7 is in its thousandths place. So I've written it as 7 into 1 divided by 1000. Let us solve one more number. 618.328. 6 is in its hundreds place. 6 into 100 plus 1 is in its tens place. So I have written it as 1 into 10 plus 8 is in its ones place. So it has to be written as 8 multiplied by 1 plus, after the decimal point the numbers start, so we have to be careful. 3 is in its tenths place, so I have multiplied 3 into 1 divided by 10 plus 2 is in its hundredths place, 2 multiplied by 1 divided by 100 plus 8 is in its thousandths place. So 8 is multiplied by 1 divided by 1000. This is how we expand the place values of each and every number. Next topic for today's class is comparing decimal numbers. We are thorough for comparing the whole numbers, but in today's class we shall be studying how to compare the numbers which have decimal point. So for this I have taken two numbers for comparison. Among these two numbers, let us find out which number is greater. For that, let us start from the leftmost digit, that is 1. So here 1 is equal to 1. So when two numbers are equal, we cannot compare here. Yes or no, students? Yes. For comparison, one number should be greater than the other. So coming to the next digit, 5 and 5. Again, both are equal. So again, we are not able to compare. And next we have the decimal point. Okay. And the next number we have 5 and 7, which means 5 is smaller than 7 and 7 is greater than number 5. So by this we can arrive at as 15.50 is less than 15.75. So for comparison, students, we need to compare each and every digit one by one. But be careful to compare the numbers which are having the similar place values. Let us solve one more example. I have taken two numbers, rupees 35.63 and rupees 35.67. So let us start comparing digit wise. 3 is equal to 3. So hence we shall move on to the next digit. 5, and here also is 5 in tens place. Five is equal to 5. And after the decimal point, we have 6, which is equal to 6. And here we have 3 and 7. So there is difference, which is called as 3 is lesser than 7. Or I can also tell it as 7 is greater than 3. So by this comparison, we arrive at as rupees 35.63 is lesser than rupees 35.67. So this is how we have to compare to know which number is greater, which number is smaller. The last topic for today's class is conversion of units. So when we have to convert lower units of money, length and weight to their higher units, we are required to use the decimals. So let us see how can we use. 3 paise has to be converted into rupees. So paise being the smaller unit, the lower unit, we need to convert this lower unit into rupees. So we know 1 rupee is equal to 100 paisa. So I have written rupee symbol 3 divided by 100, which is equal to rupees 0.03. How did I get this number? Yes, there are 3 digits here. 1, 2, 3. So when I have to write this 100 into decimals, I have to compare this point as one place value. After that I have written 0, so it is the second one, and this 3 I have written it as here 3. So ones, tens, hundreds. So here it is ones, tens, hundreds. So this is how we have to write 100 and leaving one place for decimal and another place for 0 and the other place for the numerator. This is how we need to compare and convert lower units to the higher units. So 3 paise is equal to rupees 0.03. Now coming to the second example, 5 grams has to be converted into kg. Gram being the lower unit. Now let us convert this into kg. We know that 1000 gram is equal to 1 kg. So by this I divide 5 by 1000 kg. And here I have 4 places in 1000. So leaving one place for decimal, one for 0, second for 0 and third for the numerator, I have converted 5 gram into 0.005 kg. So this is how we convert the units which are of lower and we need to convert them to the higher ones. We shall end up today's class. Thank you, students.